So guys, first of all, thanks a lot for joining. As mentioned, if we get disconnected, please use the same link again and we will connect. We are a homey company, as you see. I've got my cupboard in my back. Linvo is a homey company. We are doing LinkedIn automation. I think some of you are already versed. Andreas is, we've spoke already a few months ago, Ton as well. Some of you are already running campaigns and you want to be more versed in the platform, and some of you just have their first touch. Now, I really would love for this more to be a conversation. So if you've got questions, don't wait. Be Israeli, meaning to be Israelis. Don't wait till the end of the sentence. Interrupt me in the middle, okay? If you wait till the end of the sentence, you will lose what you wanted to ask. I will lose. It's better to keep it in context. Ask, interrupt. We will have as many of those as needed. I really love the interaction. So please keep it interactive, not like a lecture. I don't like to lecture. I like people to interrupt me in the middle. So let's start. So let's start with questions. If anybody has a general question, not anything specific, not I ran into this issue when trying to run, but something more generic, it's great. Otherwise, we will dive deep into the presentation itself. So somebody asked, he's a recruiter, how can he use the system? So recruiters in general, what they can do is look over a specific string, either in Sales Navigator or in LinkedIn, and then address those people in an automatic manner. In general, recruiters have the approach of, I have this offering for you. Would you be interested in looking into it? If they want to do it in mass scale to reach the right people, so they can do it with as many avatars as they want in order to reach the right people. I have recruiters using this system for either offering their offers or serving salaries, etc. So in general, it's just a way to address people. Is there a YouTube to show the demo? So I can tell you that, there is, and great that you asked me this way. I mean, you people, I don't know if you see it, but people are asking me, and I just see questions popping up. So there is a YouTube channel for Linvo, and we are trying to fill it up. One request for you guys, if you want to feel you have something really groovy that you've done and you're successful with it, and you want to share, or even if by showing what you do, you want to sell your services and it's over Linvo, great. So when you want to do it and you want us to put it in the Linvo official channel, we will put it, and it's great. We also have a Facebook page that you can put request, ask, and it's interactive. Anything you want to share, and we really want it to be more of a community thing. So just share, ask, and we will do. There was a question now in regards to the last question from Andreas. When will it be possible to upload new contacts, not only by CSV or LinkedIn search, but having an API to bring in more contacts? So Linvo can be part. So if I remember correctly, there was a question of how during an open campaign can I add users to it? That was like in our initial big question. So in Linvo, that is not really possible, and I'm aware of that. We are now building a next-gen software, which is not anything like Linvo. It is an agency-first kind of software. I don't want to talk a lot about it because I don't know how many people here it's relevant for them. It's mainly meant for people that are not running a single profile, but rather a large amount of profiles. It will have some abilities like synchronizing in between all the people, keeping in the CRM who has a connection to which prospect in order to address them in a more effective manner. An ability to do mutual exclusion. Let's say you've got 4 people in your team and you want to address 1,000 prospects. You want to make sure that none of your team is double messaging the same person. So that's also one of the features. comparing it between different people, different profiles, performance, etc. All those are agency features that are going to be in our next product called Mika, but they are not going to be part of, and one of those features will also be injecting people to campaigns, as there was a question, but unfortunately it will not be in Linvo. Linvo is mainly meant for users who want to do automation for connections and sending messages, do it in a safe manner, and doing it in a constant working manner. So that's the main goal of the product. Other questions? I'm really glad, by the way, by the question. Keep asking. Keep asking. If anybody has a question, you see it's interactive. It doesn't interrupt anything, and it's great. And I just see it pops up, and it's really amazing. So if anybody has anything, please do ask. Can 2 or more campaigns run at the same time? Yes, definitely. Sure. But you know what? Let's dive deep a little bit into LinkedIn limitations. So who knows what is the limitations of limitation of LinkedIn connections per week, not inflicted by us but by LinkedIn? The first one who answers correctly, RN. RN is Raj. So Raj, the first one who answers correctly gets my dog as a gift. I think it was Raj. Raj, yeah. So it's 100. It's 100 connections per week. It's not inflicted by us. It's inflicted by the system. And now that really relates to the question of how effective it is to run 2 campaigns in parallel. The fact that you can only a general average connection rate is about 25% if you're as good looking as me. If you look a bit less, so maybe less. But if you're, I don't know, Claudia Schiffer, so maybe it's a bit more. The average is about 25%. Okay, so for every 20 connections, you get, let's say, 4 or 5 accepted connect rates. Okay. Now, given that those are the numbers, how effective will it be to run 2 parallel campaigns? It means that you'll get only half, because you can only do like 10 connection requests per day per campaign. Only 2 connection accept rates. Most of us, we want to create business. We want to create business fast. Andreas, I don't see you. I hope you didn't fall off the call. You're still on the call, right? You can turn off the camera. I just want to make sure that you're here. So how effective it is? Most of us, we want business, and we want it in a pace that will allow us to run and make business. I believe that for anything, and it doesn't matter if it's recruiting or selling storytelling to websites, or selling your marketing abilities to websites, having only 2 accepts per day is not, it's not feasible for anything. What I would, and by the way, it's not about Linvo or about anything else. It's about LinkedIn limitations. In any other software, you'll have the same accept rates. You'll have 25% accept rates. For anybody who just joined lately, I'll just say that if we fall off, please use the same the same link, and we will reconnect on the same link. So the question is, how effective it is? It's not. So what would I suggest in order to run a few campaigns in parallel? I would suggest either you add somebody from the team, so it might be another employee on the team, or like Hajo did, add your wife, or like I did, and you'll see soon, I add 15 wives. I have many profiles working for me, but in general, I would just add profiles in order to make a campaign or run 2 campaigns or more in parallel. So I run about 15 campaigns in parallel. Each profile runs a single campaign. Now there's a question on how to run all those a single campaign and split. How to run a campaign and split it over multiple profiles. Is that a question that interests somebody, or it's just my own imagination? Hajo says yes, but he's just polite, he's German. Somebody really shows interest? Anyway, there is a clip showing how to take a single campaign. I just made a clip on YouTube. How to take a single like sales navigator list of 2,500 people, just split it into the profiles that you have. I split it in the example to 10 different profiles, and then just take those files and run them on 10 different profiles. Okay, so it's something that is feasible, and then you can run a single campaign on multiple profiles. You can also take, as mentioned, make just different campaigns per profile. Now, if you don't have enough profiles in your company, you know probably how to get profiles, how to acquire them. You need help with that? Nobody? No. So nobody needs help with that, or nobody knows how to. Nobody needs help. Yeah, great. Yes, please, Raj. So I can send here in the chat. I can send to everybody account seller.com. It's not an affiliate of mine, and it's not an affiliated link. It's not anything as such. It's just somebody that I have been. Buying profiles for many years for various social activities, and it works. And it's not, as mentioned, he's not a friend of mine or anything as such, and I'm not affiliated with him in any sort, but it's just the best price I personally found for a profile, which is PVA. Profiles come with 500 connections, ready to work. Phone verified accounts. Most of them have marketing titles in the US. They have history in a university and a workplace, so they are like ready to work. But if we already touched new profiles, so would that be interesting for you to know how to warm up a profile, how to start working with a new profile, how to start working with a new profile you just bought or you just started working with. So in Linvo, what I would suggest for you when talking about starting to work with a profile is the following. First of all, no more than 5 automatic connection requests per day. Okay, so you do only 5 in the first week. And then what I highly recommend is on that first week, every day, enter the new profile for maybe 3 minutes per day, not more. But in those 3 minutes, just scroll up, scroll down, like, share, post something, do some manual activities in the first week. Okay? In the next week, and that's every day. In the next week, the week after, you can already do 10 manual activities, 10 connect requests per day. But you also still need to do the manual activities. Get into the profile, like, share, post, scroll up, scroll down, go into the profile, etc., etc. So far, so good?
Good morning, Dan. I have a quick question, if I may.
Sure. Julian, go ahead.
And thank you, and good morning, everybody. Great to be here with you. My question for you, Dan, is what is the advantage of buying an aged account and run it rather than creating a new account yourself and then eventually build it?
So it's a good question. So I'll start from the end. An account with less than 500 connections is not allowed for any automation. You will do any automation with any software and you will get burned. The accounts that you buy are already aged. They are from, I think, 2014, 2017. They already have 500 connections. They already have history, and it's such a low cost to buy. It's like $15, where I put the link, that any work that you will do will be more than 1 hour, let's say, building a profile, entering titles, starting. And if you add adding connections to a new profile, it can take ages. So I don't think it's worthwhile to build a profile. It's just a matter of cost. Building with getting to 500 connections, it can take you a year to build a reputation. and I don't think it's worth the effort. Moreover, I can tell you that it's so low cost. I mean, $15 that in my business we're making, it's big business. It's a burner. If it dies, it dies. I just buy a new one. I don't care. I mean, so far, and I can show you none of them burn. So it's just working. They're like, it's smooth. Somebody is can you guys mute? Thanks. Oh, there's still noise? Yeah. So, Fabio, yeah. So, so when you buy an account which is ready to work, it's cheap, and it's I cannot even express in words how much money I make from each and every profile that is working for me. It's just it's worthwhile. It's like $15 and that's it. Any other questions about new profiles and warming them up?
I just saw that it's only in the US.
I have a follow-up question to that.
So you can fight each other for who's first, or let me decide. So I'll decide. Hajo, I'll allow Julian the follow-up question, and then with you. Okay, Hajo?
Okay.
Yeah, Julian, please go ahead.
Thank you so much. I've been testing creating virtual avatars. For example, the reason why I asked about the creation of profiles is because I've created virtual avatars where this person has a LinkedIn, a Facebook, and an Instagram account. So the authority and the authenticity of the profile is felt much more, because they can see that the same person has accounts in multiple social medias. Of course, I use this person does not exist, and then sometimes I hire a Fiverr freelancer to copy that face, put it in other pictures. So whenever people look, this person is commenting often in Julian's post, and they see it's real, so it's a real person. Do you work with that, or do you purely stop at one platform? Thank you so much.
So the question is if we are going to have multiple platform support, Julian, if we're going to support other platforms or...
That would be a really good question, but you personally, do you ever use this type of strategy? Or you think it's just a waste of time? Thank you.
So the question is, do I use that strategy to multiply the profile to other social in order to boost the authenticity of it? So the answer is no. I'm focusing on LinkedIn. I have never done it, and it just works good. But I've never built a profile. Maybe with profiles you build, you need to do it because it boosts credibility. With the profiles that I buy from this guy, Munir, in Account Seller, they have enough credibility, so I never needed it. It's just working. It's phone verified. It already passed the verification from LinkedIn, and I never ran into issues, never. So it's I don't know. Maybe other people with different actions would, but for me, it's connect and sending messages, selling Linvo mainly, and before it was other ideas, and it works. Hajo, please go ahead.
I just went on the page, Account Seller, and they say that the account you can buy is an US ID. Now, my question is, since I'm German, and I do my business in Germany, I would have to work with a German profile. Is there a way to adapt that, or to choose other countries' profiles there?
First of all, my condolences for you to doing business in Germany. No.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it.
No, actually, some of the best. I really love to work with the DACH region. I tell you, there is no problem to add. So you buy a profile, it is US based, but then you can add to the workplace and change their living location. So there's no issue with that. I also do it.
Yeah.
They might be from, you buy them, they have a history in the US, but then you change their location to Israel or Asia Pacific or Germany or the UK, but you just add. Don't delete anything. Just add their history and you'll be good.
Cool.
Any other questions?
Yeah, I had this question, but I'm not sure if it's possible. Is it possible to change names after you purchase the account? For example, can I change John Smith to Raj Narad?
Yes, it's possible. I would not do it immediately as you enter the first time to the account, but I would do it 3 days later or a week. I do it. I definitely do it. I do a process called migration, or we call it Hebrewiation. It's like changing their names to local if I need to sell in Israel, or changing their names to Asian if I need to change to sell in Asia, etc., etc. You cannot change the photo in an immediate manner, and I would not recommend it. But you can definitely change the name. Yeah.
Awesome, thank you.
One second. I've got a few questions. Why should you use fake names if you have your own account with 500 plus connections? Dominique asked. It's not you're getting the profile with the name. You can keep using the name. It's my own. Or the question is why use avatars at all, Dominique? It was why use avatars at all, or why use a fake name?
Yeah, I don't see the value of using another name than yourself to do some campaigns. If it's for selling your own business, why should you use an avatar? Or maybe I don't get the concept of the avatar.
So I will just rehearse it very fast, because I think most of the people here, they understand the amount of actions that you can do through LinkedIn, and that is connect and send messaging, is highly limited. Okay, it's not about Linvo, it's about LinkedIn. Now, if you look at the funnel, there's a conversion. You start with 1,000 people. Eventually, one person will buy your services. But if you want to address the 1,000 people in a decent manner, you cannot do it with a single profile. You must have a few profiles. Now, if you've got employees in your company, it's even better. I would not recommend using avatars if you can use real profiles. Which I think, by the way, that's where the future will be, about companies using all their profiles. But if you don't have, you need to split the list. Guys, if you can mute yourselves. Guys, everybody, or I will mute everybody. Yeah. So the meeting, it says the meeting will end in 5 minutes. When it ends, we will just reconnect through the same link. Guys, for anybody who joined, please join the same link once it ends. So that was a bit
okay, I see.
Yeah, sure.
I understand now. Thank you.
Okay, great. Any other, something I missed? Let's see in the chat. What is the best way to start connection? Personal message or use the default link? So this is a bit about strategy. How do I see connecting to people? So there are a few paradigms. I can tell you there are a few paradigms to how to connect. Some paradigms say first you follow the person, then you like his post, then you I don't know, you might respond to a post of his, and only then connect without a message or with a message and try. Currently, Linvo does not support this warm-up of a prospect, like following him and liking his posts. We don't support it in Linvo. There are other products that I'm very well aware that do this warm-up prospect, and then it makes maybe easier to connect to a prospect. What we do if I need to compare my conversion rates with a message or without a message, usually without a message it's even better. But even more important, I can tell you, don't try to sell in the first message. It's not, hey, I've got a storytelling agency, or I've got this great product and I want to sell to you. Let's connect. No, people don't like to be sold to. I'm a sales guy, and it's like, it's the most hated person in the organization. Don't try to sell. Try to add value to the customer. You can try and connect to him, and then you can maybe like his post, and then you can maybe offer him some content which is totally highly relevant to this specific person. I wouldn't try and sell something generic. Hey, I've got an agency doing this and that. I mean, you can address him with something which solves a pain once you identify a pain. I mean, if you know that he's in the shoes industry and now there is a shortage of leather, and you know the exact type of leather he's using, so you can address it with your messaging. But if it's a very generic messaging, usually it arouses antagonism, and they will not like it. You can. The main idea is help somebody, don't sell to somebody, okay? But that's like my paradigm. It's a strategy. It's not about LinkedIn. It's my way of life. If you don't think you can help somebody, don't address them, okay? So there were a few other questions, and I haven't even started sharing the Linvo screen. But also strategy. How to use my posts in Linvo functionality. Sharing in pods, I'll say a bit of my notion about pods. Look, pods are not necessarily bad, but there is a slight chance that they are boosting your chance of being banned. We don't really know, I'll tell you frankly. We do have pods. We do have that functionality. It's not very difficult to develop. To say that I encourage you to use them, it's working, but encouraging, and that it's not really about our specific product. It's about any pods possible. I know the value, and I know that small businesses really like them because it boosts the engagement. I'll tell you what I do. Once I put a post on, I'm just manually entering all of my avatars and liking, sharing, and posting. It takes maybe 5 minutes of my time. And that's about it. But I can show you how to do it if you want. How do I enter all my avatars from within a single browser, and it takes only a single second, and it's free of use, like using multi-login from a single browser.
Please, that would be great.
I can show you how I do it from a single browser, and then it's really easy.